Top 10 quarterback rankings for 2025. To MVP finalists, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, 1 and 2. Jaden Daniels, shocker, 3. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, 4. Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, who I think will be a resurgent Patrick Mahomes. Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams coming in at number 9. And Connor Rogers' new best friend, Justin Fields, comes in at number 10.
Now, Jay Croucher, you say shocker that Jaden Daniels is 3.
I was being facetious. That seems reasonable. To be 3, yeah, he's pretty good.
He's very good. Yeah. And he's added Deebo Samuel and Larry Tunsil to the offensive line.
I believe I was the first person on planet Earth, can't verify that, but I think I was the first person to say Jaden Daniels is the 5th best quarterback in the NFL. Big 4, yes. Jaden Daniels 5, Justin Herbert 6 for me. One of those 4 in front of Jaden Daniels, though, from a real-life perspective for me, Lawrence, is Joe Burrow, who's number 5 for Matthew. Is there any apprehension about Joe Burrow being that high, given that he is a pocket passer? We saw what happened with the pocket passer going really high last year, and C.J. Stroud didn't deliver.
Yeah, not at all for me. Well, for first things first, while C.J. Stroud is very, very good, he's
not Joe Burrow.
Not in that tier just yet. Then you look at the volume of passing, 652 passing attempts last year, 38.5 throws per game. That was higher than anybody. And your 3 highest paid players on the team is the quarterback and Joe Burrow. Then the next 2 highest paid is your 2 wide receivers. So they're going to pay you to work. So they're going to be throwing the ball again and again. They having trouble signing their best defensive player now.
That's key.
So their defense is the same guys from last year. So you could expect them to be, the same type of offense. So I would be happy to draft him as the first pocket passing quarterback in fantasy.
I'm not confident that this defense is going to have this miraculous rebound.
Yeah.
They changed the defensive coordinator, but the personnel is not drastically better, which means the Bengals have to throw, which is good news for Joe Burrow and those 2 highly paid wide receivers. So I think this ranking is completely justified. Burrow's going to have a massive year, and I can kind of say the same rant for Baker Mayfield, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, you always, when you're doing rankings, you're sort of like, why did the production happen? Can it repeat again? And so to your point, like, we all know Joe Burrow is very, very good. He not only did he lead the NFL in pass attempts last season, but it's his 3rd straight year of being inside the top 5. This is just a pass-friendly, pass-first offense under Zach Taylor, and is going to continue to do so. Like, you don't sign T. Higgins to the deal you signed him to, and Jamar Chase to the deal you signed him to suddenly start handing off a lot, right? I mean, that's where that offense runs. They've been top 2 in pass rate each of the past 2 seasons as well. They're going to get into shootouts. Joe Burrow, he's a lion. You got to let him roar.
Yeah. The thing
Proud
with
fantasy life investor, Joe Burrow.
I was waiting for that. The thing with Burrow, too, is that he's just defense agnostic. Like, the number 1 defense in football last year ended up being the Denver Broncos. Anyone say what Joe Burrow did to them in week 17? I think the Bengals punted once in the whole game. Like, it just doesn't matter. You just can't stop Burrow. You can't stop Chase and Higgins. Another guy.
By the way, they also, we should have looked at their schedule. We were so actually jam-packed, but they always start slow. Yeah. The Bengals. That's the other
lose to the Patriots in week 1.
Begging them not to, they go Browns, Jags.
Right, yeah.
Like, please, Bengals, not start this
But they gave them the Patriots last year, and they lost that one. That was ugly. And that's what ultimately cost them the playoffs.
Yep. Let's jump to the running back rankings 1 through 10. Some huge names.
You surprised by Justin Fields in the top 10 that I put him in there?
No, because
I'm not. He
all you
should
have to
be
do
there.
is look at when he starts,
Yes.
where he sits every time, and the Jets are telling you he's our starting quarterback, and we're going to ride this thing out and see how it goes. So I think 10 is like the perfect spot for him.
He ran for 1,100 yards.
Right.
Yeah, and he's never – Chicago, he had no help. Pittsburgh, he was sort of renting the spot. This is the first time I feel like where it's like, you're the guy. We're actually going to give you some weapons. We've improved the offensive line. You've got Garrett Wilson. We drafted Mason Taylor, our guy. So you feel –
Yeah, he's a guy that I feel like, for me personally, and I think if you're punting, so to speak, on the quarterback position, you will go with a guy like Justin Fields because he's a starter and what he could bring you in the running game.
He can win you weeks single-handedly, where guys from 11 to 16, like how many guys can you say that about from 10 and on?
No.
There's not a lot where he will finish as QB 1 or 2 because, he had to run for 2 touchdowns and 100 yards.
Well, that's the thing with Fields is that he just has that fastball that he can lean back into if there's those 60-yard touchdown runs, which we didn't get last year, but 2 years ago he was ripping them off for fun, and that's why he was such a dominant fantasy player.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.